Welcome to the gate of the week. We are going to talk all about gate 59 in human design, which is a 0 to 5 degree Virgo placement as we enter into Virgo season. This energy is all about bond making and sexuality and making connections with other people. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. My name is Brenna, and I am a human design reader and mentor and astrologer of 9.5 years, teaching you all about the practical implementation of this work, because what good is it if we can't practically apply it to our day-to-day life? And I like to start off these videos by pivoting to an excerpt from Shetton Parkin, who I love, that writes about all the gate placements in human design, just to kind of get us grounded in the energies. And he calls the gate of bond making the gate of sexuality, the gate of intimacy in human design. So without further ado, gate 59 could be your own radar beacon, slowly revolving in its environment, emitting strong signals of intimacy to see who and what it attracts into your life. It seeks bonds with sexual partners for procreation and means you are highly fertile by nature. So you have been warned. If you are somebody with gate 59, you're going to notice this more specifically in your chart. You will maintain an inclination to open all sorts of doors, to share intimacies, varying intensities in many arenas, often expressing an eagerness to give birth to creative projects. You are dispersing your natural life force energy throughout your world, throwing out signals and sowing seeds, both personally and professionally. Interactions between people happen in many different ways, from bold contact to shyness, promiscuity, friendliness, dominance, and outright aloofness. You're going to notice that when I break down all of the transits of the week here as well. To derive fulfillment, be clear about engagements and stay aligned with your authority. There is also a biological imperative about gate 59 to procreate, and this leads to a buildup of sexual energy looking for an outlet. So I often urge caution when it comes to the intimate act because of the latent fertility within you. This can be a highly charged gate of prowess that is fueled by genetic imperative to mate, but sacral activity can easily become sacred activity with a shift in your consciousness. Ultimately, the right people and projects will arrive if you practice discernment. So with that being said, in the larger description of this gate, it's really about what can we bring forth through co-creation and collaboration with another person. What feels fertile, what feels viable, what feels like it's going to be a good solid foundation for us to grow together upon, right? Whatever knowledge we have, whatever we want to grow, whatever we want to create with another person. It's why I love that this energy falls into the back to school kind of season, because it's all about what are we learning from each other, what are we creating together, and what's new knowledge that's helping us to move forward. I wrote down my notes here for all of the 6 days of the week of this transit, or if you have gate 59 in your human design BodyGraph, it's a placement that I have as well, and the specific profile line that it's in, or it denotes if it's in line 1, the first day of the transit, you'll see me drop my usual, if you've been here before, date, as well as the gate 59.1 through 6, etc., at the bottom to denote that in the chapters and the timestamp. So the first day of this transit, or if you have gate 59 in line 1, is known as the preemptive strike. And essentially with this energy, you are the person who knows to seize the moment, seize the opportunity when you see that it's something that is viable, that has a good energy behind it, that you know that you can co-create with. In its detrimented aspect, or what you want to just look out for, is that you can be predisposed on this day, or just notice it in your atmosphere, to kind of over hesitate. That's where you see Virgo placements get a lot of that anxiety. And especially as we've had a lot of our outer planets in Aries in very early degrees. This is an early degree Virgo placement that we see on this day. So it's that kind of hesitancy and nervous energy to not make a decision and not trust your instinct about what is right. On the second day of this transit, or if you have gate 59 in the second line, it's known as the line of shyness. And with this exalted placement, or in part of this aspect of this placement, it's a restriction of the power of your sexuality or your sexual energy or your connection with other people, right? It's having to temper that finesse, right? To make sure that people are taking you more seriously and that you're not overusing certain parts of yourself to get something, to get ahead in a way that actually isn't sustainable long term. It can be the right idea, but the wrong execution if you lean in that direction. On the downside of this, right, it's actually sometimes we can see, and of course, this is spirituality. I'm not a medical professional, but infertility, where it's really maintaining a separateness from other people. And what I had put here too was like really restricting your energy with other people in a way that's no longer healthy. So it's like an extreme isolation to the point where you're not safe. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, I'm unsafe with people, but now I've restricted myself so much that I actually haven't taken the proper precautions to allow myself to feel safe with other people, or to feel safe even being alone, for that reason. So just watching out for connection with other people, using your brain and being seen for your brain, and following that balance of what it feels like to connect with other people, knowing that, especially if you're somebody that's conventionally attractive, having to just play your cards in a specific way for whatever it is that your goals are long term. On the third day of this transit, it's known as the line of openness in gate 59. So we're noticing this if you have gate 59 in the third line. These are some people, or people that have this placement, or during this day, we're going to be really open to connection and connecting with other people and feeling like we were able to network and chat, right? It's the trial and error line on the with any third line, if you have a third line in your profile, and being able to find that balance of, okay, maybe a good day to network, maybe a good day to launch projects, to connect with new clients, things along those lines. On the detrimented aspect of this, it's being super promiscuous, super open, where it can actually be like it could cause some issues when you think about the things that hyper promiscuity can create for one's body, right? And really leaning into that. Or if it's just like, if you're trying to be everything to everyone, you're nothing to nobody today. So these are the people that have the LinkedIn that are like, I'm a human design mentor and an astrologer and an alien and an all-seeing guide. And I also am an actor, and I also am a podcaster, and I also do voice acting. It's like, it's too much where like no one's going to take you seriously if you're hyper driven in that way, or just sharing too much and not being able to refine yourself and really be able to pitch yourself appropriately to the right individual. On the fourth day of this transit, this is known as the line of brotherhood and sisterhood. And this is where you have a deep connection with other people in platonic relationships. It's part of your bonding strategy that Gate 59 teaches us. These are the people that also are friends first with people before they are actually in a committed romantic relationship. So you'll see that today as well. Or just somebody who's really able to connect and have a bond with anybody, no matter their background, and just feel like they have a good friendship. Maybe even some asexual people that actually are clients of mine that I've seen have had this. On the downside, or people who are going against the natural energy today, are people who are unable to feel safe even in platonic relationships with the opposite gender, the opposite sex. Maybe they're people that hyper focus on the opposite individual, and don't allow themselves to just have a good bond with people. So watch out for where people may be trying to take advantage. It's like, who is a person that's just trying to be with you in that way, to just get advice or information or proximity to you because they don't want to pay you for it. That's also something to pay attention to. However, the next day, or if you have gate 59 in the fifth line, it's known as the femme fatale or the Casanova. And the little energy that I wrote here is, it's within your kind of allure and sensuality to really connect with other people. Part of your, anyone that talks about the dark feminine, femme fatale, those are the people that have this placement. It's almost like a Shira 7 type of energy. Anyone that kind of falls under that vein. I know there's a few people that are online that talk about energy in that way. And it's like using that finesse, right? Very important. Basically, on the detrimented aspect of this, the little note that I wrote was STD city, right? So just making sure that when you're using that, right, you take the proper precautions, and making sure that you're not blindly connecting with other people, or promiscuous to a point where it actually has like a physical detrimental downside. And also the energy exchange, even if you're not engaging in the intimate acts, right? The physical exchange with other people has to be reciprocal. You don't want to overgive or underdeliver on a day like today. The last line that I wrote is gate 59, and the sixth line is the line of the one night stand. These are people that I also see potentially being polyamorous if you have this placement naturally, or you have a lot of friendships and different people where your exact romantic partner and monogamy is not going to be the only person that fulfills you, or monogamy may also not work for you if you have this placement. So also paying attention to that. The little note I wrote here is that there's people that are constantly teaching us that they are bonds made and broken. There aren't people that tend to have a long time in your life, or you go through seasons of connecting and disconnecting with people throughout your lifetime. Or maybe you don't talk to somebody for a long time and then you connect with them again. We're really noticing that today. And just being able to connect with people no matter the circumstances. You're like, oh, I'm able to connect with you for this day, for this reason, for this season. We met randomly in line at a coffee shop, or at a car meet, or at a grocery store. You just can see that in a lot of ways with these people. And then the downside of this, right, that I wrote is never settling down. And it doesn't mean that like you have to force yourself into monogamy, but like not allowing yourself to settle enough with in connection with another person where you don't reap the rewards of the benefits that community has to offer you. So it's like, I'm not getting this thing fast enough from this person. I'm not going to spend any more time connected with them because I'm not getting what I wanted like yesterday out of the relationship. Where even if you gave it an hour, sometimes like the time is kind of irrelevant here. But it does, you know, and in the human way, we do put things and qualify it by time and duration of relationship, but just seeing that more. You can also use the aspects of this video and listening to this video to decide if you have this line or this placement or this week, how you connect with other people from a romantic standpoint. Just pay attention to that as I go through the lines of the week. So a quickie just to get in and out of this video, which felt very apropos for me to end with that as we talk about this gate placement, but I really wanted to be able to get it to you guys in a true succinct way so that you understand the energies, the potency of our sensuality during this week, and using it to your benefit, whatever that looks like as we get closer into Virgo season and then getting into Libra season 2. As always, if you guys have any questions, if you have gate 6, which is creating a channel and it's a hanging gate that's creating some extra activation here in the sacral, just let me know in the comments below and I'd be happy to help you unmuck anywhere that you are stuck. Thank you so much for being here and I will see you guys in the next one.